Hi Prasad, how are
Hey, hi
you?
Shraddha. I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
All good, all good. So here is Prasad, who is an accomplished professional, in the design space. He has 2 decades of experience with a strong background in UX design, leadership, and team management. And he had been a driving force behind building the design teams and establishing a design culture. He has been actively pursuing and mentoring the UX design at various known colleges, and his venture's name is Crayomi. Such a beautiful name, Prasad. Would you want to
Thank
share
you.
what does that mean and how did it came into existence?
Surely, surely. First of all, thank you for the introduction. Well, the Crayomi came into existence in a way that people a lot of time think that, okay, I was trying or I was looking forward to work with school kids as well to teach them design thinking. That's why a lot of people think crayon and
Okay,
Crayomi is somewhere connected, but it's
okay,
not at all actually. So
okay.
in the design industry, long back, whenever
Mhm.
there's something like good design, people used to call, okay, usually we say this is awesome design. So there
Hmm.
was slang in the design industry was Creo. Oh, this design is Creo. So
Okay.
that Creo is basically creativity and MI
Mhm.
stands for mind. So creative mind, that's why it is
Oh,
Creo.
super awesome. I mean, this is
Thank you.
this is brilliant to actually come up with creative
Thank you.
mind Crayomi.
And
Super.
that's
So,
why, even though it is very small on the background, it has below the logo, you can see, but just below CRA alphabets, it is written as the creative mind. So Crayomi, the creative mind.
the
That's what
creative
the
mind
tagline.
is that's what the tagline is.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. And then the pencil, I think with a fire, or like what is
Yeah.
that? Like it just says
Pencil as a rocket somewhere that, okay, that creativity gets the boost, gets
yes.
innovated. That's the whole idea. And O, you can see the bulb idea.
Hmm. Awesome,
That's
awesome, awesome. So a lot of creativity, and you are passionate about coaching and mentoring the emerging talent in the UX space, in the design
yeah.
space. So I just want to understand, like, why did you choose this? Where did this come from? This passion of yours?
Um, well, when I started doing more research about Crayomi, a lot of things came out. Usually people say that, okay, you have to be creative, creativity comes naturally, etc., etc. But I didn't observe. So instead of coming naturally, it is all about the environment or the nurturing. My father was a drawing teacher. I have a brother and elder sister. They have no connection with creativity just because they were living outside since school days. And I was with my, so I have seen whatever he was doing creatively. It's just not just drawing, very small things, something like creating something with also thinking about or giving some idea. So I think those things basically started pushing and having that creative nature as such. So I was not aware of X initially. Of course, I mean that was not in the market. So I wanted to go to animation design space, and that's where I started. And slowly, once X came into the industry, so I moved to that. So that's how overall these things happen. I mean, it was always decided as a career that I want to go in design, but somewhere design animation, that was the field which I was looking for, and that's where I started as well, more on the design rather than animation when I started.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So there was a pathway that was craved, for you, like carved for you, I would say.
Yeah.
And from that space, as you listen to yourself, I always call it up as your intuitive self, which wants to grow, and the areas show up for you as you go along if you follow that. So I've seen that in you, which is so amazing.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to understand, like we had a very short stint of work together, like three
Mhm.
months.
Yeah.
um, what was the state of your business now, the Crayomi as your venture? And what were you trying to do, things that you were trying to do before we started? Like what was the challenge? And then what kind of shifts that you saw in just 3 months of our time together that has come along for you?
Okay. Okay. So Xiaomi, it started focusing more. about teaching design thinking to school going kids. So obviously I knew that's a long route, because the first year it was more about even the principles of good schools. They were not at all aware about what it is design thinking. Design thinking is far away. Even if I started talking about mind map, that is where the questioning was also coming in. Okay, what exactly is? So that was a long route somewhere. To keep it running, of course, that's the goal, that's the vision we want to inculcate. But at the same time, when I used to do the trainings, corporate conferences for UX design, design thinking for corporate level, also at the college level. So that was in mind that, okay, this is where we want to go. So initially focused a lot on school is, but as a business, there has need to be sustainability. So if this is something which is going to take a longer time, such, so let's focus what we are already doing with the corporate and colleges. That's what the thought which was going on. With this 3 month, it has helped me going in that direction, because a lot of time I was already creating curriculum since quite long. Curriculum design was there. I was creating courses for different education industry startups, then the colleges as well. So course curriculum was there. I know, okay, what exactly to be added, how it can be helped. I was getting good feedback from the student. People were asking to start own course, but it was more in the thought process in my notebooks. This is how it should be. Okay, no, it needs to be perfected. And that's when we started discussing. I think I got that push that, okay, whatever is there right now, it is not something which is at not good level. It is better. You, of course, we always think or keep craving for perfection. That doesn't mean whatever you're doing is not good. So we have to start. We need to take that one step towards that particular goal, or towards that particular aim. And I think these months basically helped me, because that's where the long pending UX course batch started. Then the another mentoring has started. Another batch has been so yeah, it's now going good.
Okay. You mentioned about the long pending. Like, can you tell like how long it was pending? Like, and then
Uh,
we could just make that
sure.
start. Yeah.
I say long pending be in different ways, you can say, because I started my YouTube channel where people were continuously asking, can you create your own course? I was taking time because I don't want it to be there as just one another UX course as such. So what can I do? What can be different? And I was taking time because a lot of things were going with the college also. So even though idea was there in mind since maybe a couple of years, but actually I started working on the structure and a few things since last maybe 6 to 7 months. Started focusing, okay, now we need to start this as well. So yeah, otherwise the requests were there. I wanted to start also, but I was not considering that as very urgently because other tasks were in hand.
Definitely. Definitely. And over this course of the 3 months, in terms of the business revenue percentages, what has been a shift like to bring into your business?
Sure. So I'm sure the people who are actually come from the business background and specifically MBAs and all, who usually talks about monetary and the percentage
Right.
revenue. So I was not looking from that perspective. So that perspective changed as well, because yes, if there is a business, there has to be revenue which should keep coming. But the way I was doing it, I was doing multiple things and getting the support from other task which I'm doing, so that I can keep doing it and I can keep helping maybe the kids, maybe school kids or college kids in that way. So that's why initial focus from perspective was totally missing, which I started focusing. So definitely I can say easily that 60-70% jump, because this is something which I was thinking to start. And once it started, I could see the result in that part. So yes, there has quite a jump.
Wow, amazing. Very happy to see that, this kind of a jump because and I completely understand. And I've seen a lot of business owners where they have a business, but then the focus is not on the revenues, and
Yeah.
it's the revenues that keep your dream going. It may
Right.
not be right now there the way you would like it or the way you would want to structure it to reach there,
Hmm.
but then it is in progress. It can be achieved if the revenues are going, because how will you fund yourself to really
True.
be to that place where you want to? And I think the clarity and the vision was there, but then the clarity and the focus was redefined in this period when we work together. That's what I
Hmm.
have felt, where the things were not happening, where we just sat, okay, just let's do it, kind of,
Yeah.
whatever way it is.
Yeah.
And it has definitely helped to generate that level of revenue, which is so amazing.
True.
Now, if you had to pinpoint two major takeaways from our work that we did, what would that be?
Okay. So you just mentioned some time back about the intuitivity and or basically in simple way gut feeling. So that is something which even though I was not maybe pinpointing that as a those using those words that I have the intuition or the passion or the gut feeling as such. But when I wanted to go in design field, coming from a very small town, it was not there. Of course, I got a wonderful support from my parents, specifically from my father, because he come from that field. There was support from mother also, but she was always thinking, no, no, graduation has to be there, particularly, and then you should be going in this field. Then maybe after that, choosing few different companies, choosing a job, leaving something which was not aligned. So all those things I was doing. And whenever I was doing that based on the intuition, it was working out really well. And that was happening by default. I was not
Yeah.
doing things specifically, but maybe in the in like a particular period, and of course when the COVID and everything happened, like things were slowed down. So you usually start thinking, okay, what exactly is going to happen? How we can do this? And then those areas where you have your own clarity or the intuition, you have more confidence on yourself. That's something is still there, but starts getting suppressed with the things your look expectations of outcome what you have.
Yeah, the
So
real world outcomes.
yeah, so that's what happened. Like within these Iman, in the first couple of session itself, that's basically again, if you had to use the word, it got again ignited that okay, yeah, no, this is something what brought me here till now, and that is what I'm keeping right. I need to work on that again. I need to go in that space again, which you really help in the first couple of session itself.
Amazing. Super. So that was the one takeaway. What was the second one? That you have to keep keep it alive. That's your intuitive side. That means
Uh,
a lot.
and maybe other thing, being in the creative side, it is usually very difficult to be structured. Okay, although what you have
Get
mentioned,
that.
I'm still not following the
I
all the
get
things,
that. Yeah, yeah.
uh, but I think it helped. I mean, maybe structurally being structurally unstructured apart. That's
Of
something.
course, we spoke about that. That you can
Yeah,
you can be unstructured, but some structure around the unstructured, or you can
correct,
have a
correct.
structure and then get unstructured in between that structure. To
Right,
help
right.
harness your creativity, because
True.
that's so important.
A lot of time what happens that okay, you have some plan, you decide that okay, you will be maybe for example reading a book, you will be doing this, you will be doing that, and if that doesn't happen, then you think "Ye, "Arey, ye nahi ho raha hai, I'm not able to do that." What I learned as a takeaway that okay, that's okay, it didn't happen for maybe 1 day or 2 day, that's fine. You can always go back to that instead of thinking about it, okay, it has not happened. So I think that is second biggest takeaway, because if you start thinking it's not happening, then I think it starts affecting all other things.
Definitely.
So
So it's
that
like
was
you
another
have
thing.
moved away from your energy drainers and you've started to work on your energy enhancers more and more. That's what I understand. That's the
Yes.
path or the pace that you have set up to, and that's where the results
Right,
are also
right.
showing that the shift from a revenue perspective
Correct.
as a business has seen that shift very fast because of this focus of yours, being intuitive, harnessing that side of yourself, and obviously focusing more on the energy enhancers than
Right.
energy suckers, whatever elements that
Yeah.
we play around as human beings. Amazing, super awesome. If you had to define me as your coach in one word, what would that be?
Oh, in one word. I think we should have mentioned this question.
All the questions are like on the fly. I don't share that with my people because I know whatever it is, it's a genuine connection, and that matters a lot, in this conversation as well.
Um, I'm not too sure specifying that in one word, but I will say friend, and why friend, I will explain that also.
Uh-huh.
Whenever we say friend, it's not just for the enjoying part, right? We always look for the friends who will be telling you, okay, whatever this is happening, maybe it should not go in this particular way. You should focus on this. You are good with this. Don't focus on what you're not, maybe not good, or which uh, may not help you. They are always there to support. They're always there to guide. That's what we look for from a friend. That's what the definition of the friend as well, right?
Yeah,
In a
definitely.
way. So I think those all things, which something which I
Wow.
got from you. So friend is
Oh, okay.
one better word, which is immediately coming to my mind.
We have to be
Maybe yes,
intuitive.
if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Definitely.
right.
So, yeah, I mean, very happy. Thank you so much. And if you want to describe the coaching process as such, like very, very short span, 6 sessions, from a coaching process point of view, what were the elements, or how would you describe the coaching process as such?
Well, coaching process, it was definitely good because focus first of all to understand, maybe as you mentioned, somewhere it could be limiting belief, somewhere it could be how exactly you are approaching. So connecting with the self, that's something which you mentioned in the first session. That's where it starts giving you the confidence. It starts telling you that, okay, yes, this is what okay, this is something which helps me, this is something keeps me positive. So starting with that helps to move in better way. So I think structure point of view, getting to know yourself again, and then focusing on, okay, what exactly you want, and then going towards those direction, using the strengths or using what makes you positive. That helps us, the structured way what you already have. That is something which is really helpful. You have shared those recordings as well later on, so that also helps. So I think it's not just one-on-one sessions itself, but in between the sessions also, whenever there is need, like we spoke on the phone, or maybe it's a WhatsApp, or also the videos. So the activities, whatever points you need to write, so those activities basically pushes you to think more. And once you start thinking, once you start going to that space, I think it starts helping much more. So from the structure and all the activities which are there, from that point of view, I think it always helps to look inside more,
Yeah.
which, and once that is done, I think you can start connecting better, you can start applying much better towards the goal.
Amazing. Super awesome. One last question. How have you been able to connect with your people around you, and the people whom you work with, or the prospects, or how has your connections got better, with the work that you have done?
uh, as I mentioned, like the intuitive part or being in that happy space was something which there already, like which I used to do. But last, in the first session when we discussed last maybe few years, that was something amazing. And like as everyone is saying, maybe somewhere, even if you don't point out, maybe it could be um, the thought processes, the thoughts, the like whatever you keep saying, it goes in, and then you start getting frustrated maybe a little faster. You start getting angry at smaller things. So that got better, of course. I mean, which is more of, okay, that's okay, whatever is around. So while speaking to people or the prospect also, looking from very different perspective, explaining those things. Again, it was happening, but earlier, but then the focus will be on the outcome. So instead of that, maybe let's do it whatever comes later. That's fine. But I think that helps. That doesn't put you under that radar that okay, no, whatever, like you have done this much and no, it's not. Like instead of that, okay, you're going there, you're trying. So I think that helped to be in a good space.
Super awesome. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, Prasad, for speaking with us. And I wish you all the best. And to all our viewers, definitely Prasad is one of the best people I've worked with, very intuitive and the best in his space, in his work on the UX design. So if you need any help, he's, whom to reach out to. Okay, thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Shraddha. It was a pleasure, and definitely, as I mentioned, these 3 months for sure, few discussions, few sessions, but that has helped a lot. So thank you for that.
You're always welcome.